Hi everyone, so let's now take a look at the Private Finance Initiative. Now this was set up under the Labour government in order to actually increase provision of merit goods, that is, those goods such as education and healthcare in particular, but it's been used in other areas as well, such as providing additional fire services support and prisons and so on. So let's take a look. So it involves using private finance and contractors to fund, build and manage quasi-public goods. Now this really represents a public-private partnership, as it's known, a partnership between the public sector and the private sector. Okay, so as we mentioned there, it was really made popular under the Tony Blair government. So it's really been a controversial issue in UK government policy with regard to the provision of public goods. The typical contract is for a period of 25 to 30 years. Now, politicians like this policy because it means that they can open new hospitals, new schools right now, but it means also they don't have to pay for them for a long time. As such, it is not actually recorded as government expenditure for the current year, and therefore you have only got the actual interest and maintenance costs to pay each year before ultimately you have to actually foot that bill for 25-30 years or so. Okay, so that's why politicians like it, and you can see that that also leads us through to that notion of public choice theory that we looked at earlier in this unit, that is really relevant here. The fact that politicians want to open things up nice and early and make themselves look good. They don't worry about the longer term consequences perhaps, okay? And in addition to that, opening new hospitals, new schools is going to win a lot of votes in most circumstances. Now the advantages are really that it's cited that the private sector can be more productively and dynamically efficient. It can achieve greater economies of scale because of its expertise in a given sector. And of course it does increase provision of merit goods, and it replaces ailing hospitals and schools and so on by transforming them into new buildings. Okay, there are of course disadvantages, that you've got high interest bearing debt to actually bear in mind here, and when you're dealing with build costs of sort of 24 million for a school, it really does become quite significant over such an extended period, together with the actual maintenance and management of those these public bodies by the private firm. Now it's often inflexible and provides poor value for money as well, as its critics will argue. So once you actually get yourself set up in a PFI contract, it's very difficult to actually get out of that. Now in addition, we've got this point regarding buy now pay later, so there's the cost involved in this and the actual impact on national debt, but that national debt will not necessarily truly reflect the overall cost of the PFI contract. Okay, now we've also got that point regarding public choice theory and government failure, that governments make strange decisions at times, and perhaps that is simply about winning votes now and forgetting about the longer term consequences of getting into such contracts. Okay, now of course we know that this really relates to our merit good diagram, our positive consumption externality, and we see that here where we've got that area of potential welfare gain. We want to increase the provision, so by undertaking PFI, that enables us to actually increase the provision of those public goods, moving our level of output in line with Q star, of course, theoretically. So there we go. Just notice how the actual price level increases there as well. That's worth noting down. Great stuff, guys. I hope that's been useful. See you next time.